I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to speak to you today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I guess for people who haven't had the chance to see The Fall Guy in the cinema yet, I know it's coming out on home release very soon, but maybe you could just give us a brief intro, set the scene for us a bit. What can they expect when they watch the film?
Yeah, I mean it's such a fun movie. It really is a love letter to stunts. I feel like this movie has everything. It's got a great story. It's got lots of great action. The romantic part of the movie is good, and especially from a stunt side, we kind of ticked every single box. We wanted to achieve everything in stunts. It's kind of the first sole stunt movie, so we really wanted to do everything. We wanted to do a high fall. We wanted to do a big car jump and a cannon roll and break a world record. And we wanted to set someone on fire and do an air ramp. So we kind of ticked all of those boxes. So yeah, it's a really exciting movie, especially if you love action.
And I guess it's a little bit meta for you in a way. I mean, so just talk through your specific role, because of course Ryan Gosling's playing a stunt guy, but you're actually his stunt guy. So it's kind of like two stages removed.
Yeah, the whole movie is like a movie in a movie, and then a stuntman, an actor playing a stuntman who's doubling an actor, but he has stunt doubles. It's quite a it's quite crazy to understand. But when you watch it, it's very easy, and it kind of it all makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it was such a fun show to do. I mean, and it was so stunt heavy that he needed. There was four stunt doubles for Ryan. So it was myself and Justin Eaton. We kind of did all of the performance, the kind of on the feet stuff. Logan Holiday was the stunt driver, and Troy Brown came in and did the high fall at the end, the 150-foot high fall out of the helicopter. So it took a team of guys to make one fall guy.
And it must have been kind of a dream role because, like you said, like has there really been a film like this kind of dedicated to the art of being a stuntman? I mean, I know it's based on the 1980s TV show, but the fact that it's sort of this big blockbuster dedicated to this, and of course, David Leitch himself has been a stuntman. So even from the top, there's just so much knowledge and dedication to really showing this as kind of the art form that it is.
Yeah, I mean, when I got the call from Chris, I obviously I'd the Fall Guy, the original TV show, was a little bit before my time, but obviously I knew about it, and he called me and asked if I wanted to do it and if I was available, and let me know it was it's a big job, and we're going to be doing a lot of things, and to see if I was kind of up for the task, and I jumped at it. I mean, what an opportunity to have put on your plate. And then the more you kind of get involved with it, David Leitch, a former stuntman himself. He was Brad Pitt's stunt double, one of the pioneers in the game, and was directing it. I mean, Chris O'Hara, a legend in the stunt game, stunt coordinator, second unit director, and now stunt designer. It was massive. And I think they were the perfect people to kind of lead the way and do this movie.
And how different would it be? Because I mean, I know it's not your first rodeo in that sense of being a stuntman for, an A-lister, done Jason Statham, Ewan McGregor, et cetera, et cetera. But was this almost like a different kettle of fish because the whole film was about stunts? How did it compare?
Yeah, I mean, I've been quite fortunate, and I've doubled lots of people before on big films. I've done some of the biggest Marvel films and the Fast and Furious franchise and things like that. Like you said, this was a different kettle of fish. It was just the sheer workload on this movie was 10x anything I've ever done before. It was, usually on a movie you'll work and you'll have like a busy week where you're doing lots of things, and then you'll have like a couple of days off or a week off, or even sometimes longer, to prep for the next scene, and then you'll film the next action scene. Just because most movies aren't so stunt heavy, and if they are, they have different characters, so your character has a break. But this one was every day, just big stunts after big stunts after big stunts. And when I wasn't doing the stunts, when, like, let's say Logan was doing a car jump and they were filming that, I was rehearsing the next stunt, like the next big stunt. So just the sheer workload on this was unlike any other. and it kicked my ass, but it was so much fun, and it's something that I'll never forget.
And it does feel like, I think because it's kind of this big love letter to being a stuntman, there's just so much, passion that had gone into it. Was it all just pure fun? Was there anything that went completely wrong? Did you have a favorite moment on set?
Oh, the favorite moment on set is a tough question, but I mean, yeah, there was so much going on, and look, things don't always work out to plan. You'll set up a stunt, and just for the fire stunt, for instance, I did that 8 times. So I got set on fire 8 times and ratcheted into the wall. I did it once the first day and 7 the next day. And the first day, the wind was going a complete opposite direction as the second day. So you just have to make changes on the fly and kind of deal with those things on the fly. Sometimes they'd set up to do the car jump and it would be too windy, so they'd have to push it. Or Sydney, it was like a crazy weather over in Sydney, so we'd be on the beach filming in Cornell, and the entire set would just get flooded. So we'd have to like pivot and do something else. So it was more kind of logistical challenges like that. When we do stunts, we always plan for change and plan for variables, and so we're ready for those things when they happen. It's funny, I've seen it, how many times have I seen the movie now? I think I've seen it 5 times, because we did the whole press tour and we would kind of stop off in different places and we'd watch it. I think I've seen it 5 times now. I feel like each time I have like a different little favorite. I mean, there are the big ones, the fire burn and the car hit. They were both something that I'd never done before in my career. It was cool to watch those the first time and see how they came out, and everything looked great. And then once you kind of get past that, I like the little things, like the crash through the window after the armor chase was just fun, and it was like, in the moment it felt like such a perfect result. The rigging team did everything absolutely perfect. I mean, I'm just getting pulled out of a window. I have ultimately very little control, and everything that they did was just perfect. It was the right amount of impact where it hurt just the right amount, but then even the little ones where he gets shot with the blanks, and you just take that reaction and then do a flat back to the floor, and it's kind of the meaning behind that, where it's like you're selling a reaction where you're not really getting hit. And that's kind of all the hidden meanings, more of the hidden meanings kind of in the movie that you realize when you watch it. So I mean, I have lots of favorites. The Harbour Bridge was unforgettable. Shutting down the Harbour Bridge and surfing across it on the back of a bin truck door was, when do you ever get to do that? It was insane. I had to look up and be like, wow, we're really doing this. This is madness. So to pick one favorite moment is the hardest question ever, because there was many.
And maybe this is a really stupid question, but are you ever scared? I mean, I guess you can't really be a stuntman if you scare easily. But what's the limit? Do you ever say, do you know what, that one's not for me? Or actually, I don't feel safe in this one. Can we add this? Can we add that? Or is it just so well rehearsed, choreographed that actually by the time you're on set, all those decisions and all those discussions have already been had?
Well, look, I'm not going to walk around here saying I never get scared. I absolutely get scared. That's part of, I don't know, I feel like that's part of why I do it. I like that feeling. I like the challenge to overcome that fear. Are there things that I would never do? I mean, I think this movie is a great example of, Chris O'Hara's kind of motto is like, hire the best person for the job, and really stack your deck with talent and the right people. You put me 150 foot up in that helicopter and have me do a double flip with a 1.5 or double twist out of it. No way. Like, there are specialists for a reason, and Troy Brown is that absolute best at what he does. There was no way I would do a 150 foot high fall backwards out of a helicopter. We had to be 100 foot in that helicopter doing a fight scene hooked onto a line with the helicopter shaking and moving on a gimbal, and you'd look out and you'd be like, oh God, this is high. And Troy had to go from 50 feet higher. There's specialties for a reason, and there's there's lots of talented people out there, you know. So to answer the question, is there things that I wouldn't do? Yeah, there's, you know, there's no way I would do that high fall. That's you know, Troy's been training his whole life and he's the very best at it. But you know, I mean, aside, like it was one of those, I didn't even get asked to do that. It was just like, this is the guy to do that. But no, everything on the ground, it was a challenge that I was up for, and yeah, I just see those things, especially new things like the fire burn and the car hit. You know, I'd never done those before. It was Chris called me and I said, Chris, I've never done a fire burn, I've never done a car hit. I'd love to do both. Like, he was like, well, good thing there's both of these in the script, so you can do it. So I was like, great. So I welcome those new challenges, especially with things that I feel like I can control like that, and it's quite the experience.
And I guess giving people that little bit of a peek behind the scenes, you know, do you think there is newfound respect and recognition? Because I guess when a lot of people go to the cinema, they're not even thinking about the fact that, you know, how many stunt people are involved in pulling something off. Or maybe people have heard, you know, a lot about Tom Cruise. Oh, well, he does his own stunts. But like, actually, you know, the sort of army of people that goes into these things, and the people that put their, you know, safety on the line to entertain us, you know, do you feel like there'll be more recognition after this film now?
Yeah, I definitely think Fall Guy has done that. But I also think, you know, I would say in the past 5 years, stunt people have kind of become a little bit more well known, and you know, you see the Instagram posts of you know, Captain America or John Wick, like kind of doing those stunts, and then those stunt people get highlighted. You know, the famous John Wick fall from the roof, where he slides off the roof and hits the balcony like 20 feet below, and then chips off another thing and hits the trash can. Like, that was my friend Jackson Spidell, and you see, it's kind of becoming a little bit more known that stunt people exist. I mean, when I got into the business, I loved watching action movies, and I had no idea stunt people exist. It's kind of our job to come in and stay hidden, and make the character and the actor shine, you know, and kind of almost, you know, in like superhero movies, give them superpowers and give them the flips and the tricks and the fight scenes that we see on camera. So it was kind of unknown to me, and then you know, the older you get and you realize, like, when I found out that it was actually a job, I was like, this seems like a really good job for me. But I think Fall Guy has done an incredible job, and you know, the people behind it, you know, David Leitch and Kelly McCormick and Ryan and Emily too, like what they did at the Oscars with the whole presentation to kind of you know, just shine a really good spotlight on stunts was incredido. And I think it's time. I think everybody who is involved in the creative process of a movie should be recognized, right? For through every department, and I don't think stunts is any different. I think Fall Guy has made it very well known, and I think it's time that stunts get recognized by the Academy.
What's next for you? Is there an action hero out there yet that you haven't been a stuntman for that you're dying to? What's on your bucket list?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually in London right now filming Ryan's next movie, so I'll be here till October, and then we'll see what happens after that. But October's a long time away, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I kind of just take it show by show. Yeah, so I don't really know.
Oh, well, what yet to see. And thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Congrats on the amazing film, and can't wait for everyone else who hasn't seen it yet to see Fall Guy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sarah.